The following program is rated GAG. It contains giggling, abominable language, and grotesque sexual imagery. It may literally cause you to gag. We highly recommend you don't watch it. Just walk away and just go read a book or something, or spend time with your kids.
Hey guys, Andy here from Mediocre Hobbies alongside
Dave from the Golden Chin.
And we are back at it with another battle report. This time the Night Lords from our very first battle report finally make a return. They have been requested many a times. And in this story we decided to do a little bit of like an Alamo for them. Obviously they're on the run from Imperial forces. They were beaten back by Krieg and are being hunted down and pursued, not something that they're used to. They have managed to take refuge in the ruins of an overgrown, swamped out old city. But unfortunately they are not the only inhabitants, and they have been found by the hungering deep, the Tyranids. So they are holding onto a building for dear life in the center of the board, and they must hold out for 4 turns and hope that somebody may come to their aid. Whether they come or not is up to them. We'll see what happens.
I'm not optimistic with my track record with Night Lords, so
yeah. We weren't planning on having another Chaos Space Marine game for you guys so soon. We said we would shelve them for a little while and move on to some more Xenos forces, but with the book now being released and them now being officially having 2 runes, we decided to run them out one more time just to show you guys what the new models are like. The mat was very generously provided to us by GameMat.au, so thank you very much to GameMat for providing the mat for this game. And all of the scenery you'll see on this table today is from Snot Goblin Terrain. They have a Kickstarter coming up soon, and we'll have more for you on them in a little bit. How are you feeling about the game?
Yeah.
We'll
a little bit beseech the dark gods and hope for the best and pray.
At least when the new book came out, they gave you like the big cool demon prints that you can use in the...
So yeah. Like it'll be fine. My voice is going a bit high pitched there.
A little bit. So the Chaos Space Marine set up in the center of the board. They have a strong position. The Tyranids will continue to assault them on all sides for the entire game. When their lesser units die, they will come back on at bigger strength each time as the fight around the old ruined city draws in more and more Tyranid organisms. So
yeah, the forest is alive and it
literally alive.
It wants to eat my face.
Yeah. And it probably will.
Yay!
So we'll jump on to turn 1, guys. Enjoy.
Cool.
Today in the battle report we're using a completely new type of collapsible scenery on our gaming table from Snot Goblin Gaming. Think of this terrain like Warhammer Lego, easy to store and transport and super quick to set up for casual games with friends. You can check out the Kickstarter link for more details and a cool video to see how the terrain works. And to support the project yourself, stick around till the end to find out how you can win all the scenery you see on this table here today.
So we have Tyranid turn 1. Obviously Tyranids are going to get the first turn as they are ambushing the... We need to find some sort of funny 40k version of an Alamo. So I've gotten to surround the Chaos Fortress or Chaos Ruins. I had to deploy basically 12 to 18 inches away from them depending on the units. And then, yeah. Now it's time to go into my movement phase and see if I can get to grips with some of these horrid chaos monstrosities and open fire with my bug guns. So I'm going to go into the movement phase now.
A bit high pitched there.
A little bit. So the Chaos Space Marine set up in the center of the board. They have a strong position. The Tyranids will continue to assault them on all sides for the entire game. When their lesser units die, they will come back on at bigger strength each time as the fight around the old ruined city draws in more and more Tyranid organisms. So
yeah, the forest is alive and it
literally alive.
It wants to eat my face.
Yeah. And it probably will.
Yay!
So we'll jump on to turn 1, guys. Enjoy.
Cool.
Okay, the Tyranids have moved forward aggressively towards the Chaos Space Marine forces, and they're going to open fire. So I'm going to start with some standard gaunts here, or termagaunts here, firing Devourers. So just strength 5 -1 guns, and I need 4s to hit. I'm aiming for the Chaos Space Marines up on this balcony, and out of that, 3, and that was a hit. So 3 out of 10 hits, so that's not a good start. Strength 5 means I'm wounding the Chaos Space Marines on 3s. 2 wounds. That can potentially kill 2 Chaos Space Marines, right?
Not anymore. I mean, with Dave dice, anything is possible, but so getting it. See, I had a 2-up save because I was in cover, but of course that means that straight away, first shots of the game, drops a Chaos Space Marine.
Dave dice!
So even a new book can't save you from Dave dice.
So next we have the other unit of Hormagons. These guys are carrying the, whatever the other guns are called, the Devourers. So once again, these hit on 4s. So we'll take out all of the ones that hit. Unfortunately, these are double the number of shots, but they lose 2 points of strength, so I'm not really sure if it's worth it at all. That's strength 3, and I'm firing at the Terminators on the first floor. So looking for 5s to wound, so 2 wounds on some Terminators. Let's see if Dave dice can once again assist me.
Is there any minuses to this?
No.
Okay, so let's see.
First 4 dice rolls in the game. 4 ones! We're gonna need a bigger Dave dice. Like in this game, I want you to leave the counter in the top right screen, literally counting up the whole time. Or just Dave's ones counter. And how many ones is there throughout the entire game rolled by you? I would love to know that statistic. I need to see if it balanced out how many ones I roll, just to see if it if it's actually just you. Like we all know it's just you, but
Oh god.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
time for the Strangle Thorn cannon, which is D3 plus 3 shots. So there's my 1, so it brings me to 4. And they hit on 4s. Once again, they're going to pop some shots off at the Terminators. 3 misses, 1 hit. Delightful. These are strength 8 though, so they will be winning you on 2s.
Okay, and what is the damage?
That is a good question. The Strangle Thorn cannon is -2 damage.
Okay, so I've got 1 Terminator left there who's only on 1 wound remaining, so -2 is going to bring him to 1 up, 2 up, 3 up, so a 3 up save, because he is in cover.
5th dice roll of the game. 5 ones. Ding.
And that's another Terminator. Gone down. So can I petition to get like an extra wound just for me in my version of the Codex?
Dave's Marines get 3 wounds and Terminators get 5 wounds. I think is the only way to make this fair.
Yeah.
Exocrines do what now? That's a profile for a gun. Let's see if I can put it to good use. I'm going to shoot those Marines there. So it's D3 shots. Oh no, wait. It's D3 plus 6 shots. So I get 7 shots. It's pretty good.
Sorry, what?
See, when I roll 1s, I get 7. When you roll 1s, things are dead on your side. It's okay, it's okay. Like every Tyranid monster, it hits on 4s. Oh no, wait, this guy hits on 3s. That's all hits. All hits. All hits. All hits. Strength 8, so what's that wounding Marines on? 2s, that's it. That's right, 2s. Oh no, I rolled 3 1s. But I did get 4 through. And it ignores cover, so that would basically be like an extra point of AP, yeah? So then technically it's AP -5. It's okay. It's okay, they're only 3 damage apiece.
One, 2, 3, 4 cases of emotional damage.
Don't worry, one of your guys will get onto the roof and play the violin or something, and how that goes, isn't it? So, like we do here in the channel, we like to play more thematical games, so we obviously modify the rules every time. So I don't think it would be in the interest of an exciting game to then assault the thing and have everything get bogged down. I definitely would like the Chaos Space Marines to have range shooting, to try and clear off some of the Tyranids before they smash into the walls. So I'm going to end my turn here. I've already had a pretty successful shooting phase, removing I think 6 or 7 power armored models off the table, and that's with their 2 or 3 wounds now. So we had a good turn already, so let's just leave it there. So this brings Tyranid turn 1 to a close.
Yeah, I'd like to have a turn, please. Is it safe to come out yet? Do I get a turn now?
I suppose you got it.
Yeah, okay, grand. Okay, so Night Lord's turn 1. That first turn was terrifying. To be honest, I'm not sure, was it more terrifying my dice rolling, or was it more terrifying the Tyranids? Maybe it's a little column A, a little column B. But you know, hopefully that's string of 5 ones in a row for my first rolls of the game means that I can only have good dice rolls from now, right? That's how it works, right? Anyway, we'll see. So I'm going to try and hopefully kill some of the bigger things this turn, and I think I might need one of my squads to jump out of the ruins and go deal with one of these smaller groups of bugs.
Ride out and meet them. For death and glory.
So I might dispatch my chosen to go start chopping up some of the smaller bugs in close combat and send the Terminators off to hunt the bigger prize.
That's a brave choice.
Well, I'm kind of getting butchered as I'm standing here in the middle of this ruin. The phrase, you know, fish in a barrel comes to mind, so I think I need to try and get moving a little bit, but we'll see how that goes. But first things first, my Warpsmith in the command phase is going to enrage the Venom Crawler, which means that for the rest of the turn it gets +1 to all its shooting attacks. So hopefully be able to put that to a bit more use. Other than that, I have nothing to do in my command phase, so we're going to go straight on to the movement phase. So we're going to start off with the Venom Crawler's shooting phase. So again, he's getting +1 to his hit rolls with his 2 Excruciator Cannons, and I'm going to basically try and sweep the board of these Gene Stealers, because if those guys get into my lines, I am absolutely terrified what they would do. So normally the Venom Crawler is hitting on 3s, but because of the buff he's going to be hitting on 2s. So firing 6 shots, unfortunately does manage to miss with 1 of them, but manages to hit with 5 out of the 6 shots. And these are going to be wounding the Gene Stealers on 2s. Gene Stealers are toughness 3?
4.
Okay, then it's going to be on 4s to wound them. 3s rather than 2s. So that is 4 wounds, and they are going to be at -2 and 2 damage apiece.
I think that's 4 dead Gene Stealers.
I'm okay with this if that's the case.
Yeah, I think you can just take 4 Gene Stealers off.
I mean, I would gladly do that.
Like, when we get there, we shred. But until we get there,
Get shredded.
we don't.
Okay, so on to the Legionary Squad in the ruins, aiming their sights down at the Hormagaunts. Again, getting a little bit closer to the walls than I would like, so we're going to try and drive them back with some quick fire. So we'll start off with the autocannon, firing off 2 shots. So both hit. Because of the new Chaos Space Marine rules, for the first turn, any 6s when you're firing heavy or rapid fire weapons count as 2 hits, which is going to be quite handy, dealing with all these bugs coming towards my walls. And that is going to be 3 wounds, I think punching straight through the Termagant's save and knocking 3 of them back from the walls.
Yep, that brings 3 more Tyranids crushing out.
So we'll follow on then with the Plasma Gun, firing 2 standard rounds, both of which find their mark, and both of which vaporize 2 more of the bugs, and then finishing it off with 4 remaining bolt pistol shots from the squad. Unfortunately, 1 of them does manage to miss, but 3 of them find their mark, and only 1 of them manages to wound, and they will get a save from this one.
That will not be enough, so another Tyranid Lovely day.
Okay, feel a little bit better now. That's slightly more numbers I can deal with.
Yep.
But now we start moving on to the ones that are really starting to terrify me. So we're going to switch over to the big boy. So I've got 3 guys with combi bolters charging towards two guys with combi bolters and 1 guy with the big heavy autocannon. So we're going to start off with firing off the combi bolter shots into the Carnifex. Then we're going to follow on with the melt gun from the combi melta, and then finish off with the autocannon. So I'm going to get all those dice together, and then we'll be back to you in 2 seconds. Okay, so we're going to start off with the guy wielding the pair of combi bolters, because guns akimbo. It's too cool not to. So he'll clearly take the Carnifex down all by himself. I won't need to fire anybody else, right? Yep. That's how this works. So at short range, he fires 4 shots with his combi bolters, so managing to find his mark with all of them. But unfortunately, doesn't manage to do any wounds whatsoever. So we
distracted him.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm trying to do. Yeah.
Next, we'll move on to the Reaper autocannon. So again, firing the 4 shots. Only 2 of them find their mark, but I think that is enough for them to wound.
So what minus is a Reaper autocannon?
So a Reaper autocannon is -2, but it's only damage 1 piece.
I go from 2 up to 4 up saves, which I fail both, so he goes from 9 wounds down to 7, if I can find 7. Boom.
Okay, and then we're going to fire the Melta in the combi Melta on the last remaining Terminator. So again, because he's firing at half range, hopefully this will do a bit of damage. First he needs to hit, which he does.
Definitely.
And he does manage to wound him.
He does.
So it's going to be d6 plus 2 damage.
I get a save at all?
-4.
So my 2 up would go to a 6 up.
Yes, so you do get a save.
6 up save, which I failed.
And it does 4 points of damage to him.
Ouch. So that's 7 goes to what, 3?
3.
I can math me. I remember when you used these Carnifexes against me and my guard, I couldn't take a wound off them to save my goddamn life.
Yeah, but I've got bolters.
Oh yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah. Okay, and then the final bit of shooting for this turn is going to be the squad of Legionaries up on the walls, staring down at the Screamer Killer, about to punch through the walls. So this guy needs to die really, really quickly. So,
yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, I know. So we'll start off with all the bolt pistol shots firing down from the squad. So 6 rounds. Gonna need better rolls than that, unfortunately. Half of them manage to miss the giant screaming Carnifex, but 2 of them do manage to wound it, so that's something at least.
No, it's not.
So next we've got a plasma pistol in the squad firing. So the sergeant's plasma pistol finds its mark, doesn't manage to wound him. The heavy bolter fires out 3 rounds. So 1 miss, 1 hit, and a hit that counts as 2 hits. I do quite like that new rule. And none of them manage to actually wound the beast, unfortunately. So it's then just down to the Meltagun. So single Meltagun shot. Yeah, that squad's dead, isn't it? So now moving on to the assault phase, and we're going to start with the Terminators charging forward to hopefully finish off the Carnifex, and I'm going to as well try and charge into the squad of Termagants and hold them into combat. So they manage a 5-inch charge, which I think should be enough to make it in for both, which it is just about. So pile these guys in like so. I'm feeling brave or stupid, I'm not entirely sure which, but we shall see. The Chosen are going to try and take out the Termagants. With a 10-inch charge they are going to be able to do it, so they're going to smash into the squad in front of them here.
I don't remember this part in the Alamo.
No, maybe that's why they didn't win the Alamo.
It's like the Helm's Deep moment.
Yeah, exactly. See, I'm the good guys, you know? The good guys who charge out of Helm's Deep and then flay all the Uruk-hai alive and drape their skin all over them. I don't remember seeing that version in the cinema.
You think we watch different movies.
And then the final charge we're going to do is the Venom Crawler. So he's going to try and charge the Gene Stealer. So an 8-inch charge should be enough. Yeah, loads of room, and sends him smashing in to hopefully wipe out that last Gene Stealer. So we'll start off with the easy fight, I hope. The Venom Crawler lashing out with its tendrils and claws. So it gets 6 attacks on the charge. So it manages to hit with all of them, actually. And because it is strength 7, he's going to be wounding the beast on 3s. So that is 4 wounds at -3 to his save.
I don't think it matters because my save is a reflex-based one and it's just 5 up no matter what. So he's dead.
Yep.
Maybe
So
it did matter.
So now we move on to the Chosen Squad. So using their new improved profile in the new book, each of these guys gets 3 attacks at a bare minimum, but with all their accursed weapons that they're carrying, it actually boosts most of them up to 4, potentially 5 attacks apiece. So each of these, where they belong. So each of these guys are hitting the enemy on 3s.
That's a lot of dice.
That's a lot of dice, but it's also a lot of 1s and 2s.
It is.
That is still a lot of 1s and 2s. So all the rest of those are successful hits. And these are each going to... Aha, another one. So these bring them up to strength 5. So they're going to be wounding them on 3s. And these are at -3 and 1 damage apiece.
Let's take them off.
So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dead Hormigons. I'll take it. And now they get a cool new rule, which is the Chosen, the first time they wipe out an enemy unit until the end of the battle, they count as being engaged in wanton destruction, wanton massacre, and wanton slaughter. Which basically means anytime they roll a 6 to hit with any kind of weapon, counts as 2 hits.
Oh god.
So they're going to start chomping their way through.
You know the way it's like with our number and Tyranids is supposed to come back on? The guys aren't going to want to come back on. Like, no, don't send me in there. No.
Okay, so now we're going to move on to the Terminators. So the squad is splitting its attacks. So the Lightning Claw armed Atramentar is going to start clawing his way through the clawed Hormigons. You know, this is like Wolverine versus Praying Mantis kind of thing.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. So we'll start off with him. So he gets 5 attacks because of his paired cursed weapons. So again, hitting on 3s, all managing to hit. And wounding, because of the extra pip of strength, brings him to strength 5. So he's still going to be wounding on 3s as well. So that is going to be 4 dead Hormigons, which is not a bad start.
No, not at all.
So then we move on to the squad fighting Carnifex. So I'll start with the Sergeant with his 5 attacks from his accursed weapon. So swinging his broadsword into the Carnifex, he manages to hit him 3 times. And does manage to wound him twice. So not a bad start.
So I've got 2 plus A. What's the minus on that thing?
It's -3, but I think you ignore one of the pips of minusing because of your hard exoskeleton, so it counts as -2.
Oh, I don't know that. Okay, 4 up saves. I managed to pass though.
Okay. And then next, it's the 2 Power Fists swinging into him, so that's going to be 6
Painful.
attacks.
Painful.
That's what I'm hoping. So 6 attacks, 4 of them managed to hit. I'll take it. And these are going to be wounding him on 3s because of the doubling of the strength. So manages to wound him twice, and I think they're -3 to his save.
So it's the same idea, -1 of them, one of them goes away, so it's back to 4 up saves.
Exactly. Where is it here?
Oh.
First.
I pass 1 and fail 1.
Okay. Yeah, so they are -3, so they go to -2, and they are 2 damage apiece.
Carnifex goes to a single wound.
Kinda needed him to die.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Snip, snip.
Bye, guys.
Oh yeah, I get to fight back with something finally. Okay, I learned that Carnifexes do not have any degradation when they get wounded. So even though he's on 1 wound left, he's still a bit of a powerhouse. So 4 attacks hitting on 3s, all of which find their mark, which is bad for Dave. These wound on 2s. 2 wounds is very good for Dave.
Yeah.
So these are 2 wounds. They do -4 to the Terminators, so they would go to a 5-up save, but they've also got their 5-up invulnerable save. So Dave's now going to roll that. So 1 pass and 1 fails. They do D3 plus 3 damage. There's no point in rolling any. We'll just take one of the solid 3 damages, and it will just kill a Terminator. So yeah, I'll take it. So my remaining Hormagons are going to jump in and try and lay smack down on that Terminator. That kind of blend them a little bit. So 3 attacks apiece for each of the Hormagons is pretty good. Wounding on, or hitting on 4s. Let's take away all of the not hits. Not too shabby. We are only strength 3, so we are going to be wounding on 5s. Which is only 1, that's shocking. It does do -1 AP, but it's only 1 damage. So Dave gets a power armor save for this guy. So he does not give a hoot.
I actually saved something.
For and that will bring Dave's turn 1 to a close. How are we feeling?
Still worried. I've got a Carnifex on 1 wound there, so that's worrying. I've managed to wipe out one of the broods, which is good, but then they're going to come on again next turn, and I've got a squad of chosen standing in the middle, which is not so good. Got rid of the broodlord, not the broodlord, the gene stealers. That's good. They're going to come back on again. That's bad. I think I can see a trend of how this is going to go.
Yeah.
It's not good.
No. So we're on to Tyranid turn 2. It is time for the reinforcement phase or whatever. So we have my Broodlord over here, the synapse creature of my army, and he is basically sending out pulses of psychic shockwave, calling in Tyranid reinforcements all the time. Where those Tyranid reinforcements come from, he has no real control. He's just calling them in from the neighboring districts of this ruined city, and basically it escalates. So the Tyranid forces that get destroyed in the game come back, but they come back with the bumped up numbers. So the 10 Hormagons that were destroyed earlier in the game have come back as a strong squad of 15. The 5 Gene Stealers that were destroyed have come back as a squad of 7. As for where these show up, it's random. So we're going to go by board edge, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I get a 5 or a 6, I get to choose the board edge. These models come on, and they must come on 12 inches away from enemy units. So they can't just show up and swarm a chaos unit that they didn't know was there. So this is going to be a hard fight for the Night Lords to stay alive until turn 4. But if they can survive until turn 4, there will be a happy surprise for them. So I'm just going to deploy these guys now. Let's find out where they go first. So the Hormagons, 2, so they go on Dave's side of the board. And the Gene Stealers, I get to choose them. So I'm going to deploy those 2 units, and then we're going to get into the movement phase. So I have brought on the Hormagons over here. They have surrounded my Broodlord, and they're going to basically whisk him into fighting over the next couple of turns, hopefully. And the Gene Stealers have come in this flank, in behind these ruined buildings. I'm counting them being deployed as their movement phase for this turn, so they're not going to come in and smash anything or anything. They will have a chance to react to these new forces hitting the table. So I'm just going to play this turn with the units that I already have at my disposal. So when it comes to the movement phase, yeah, he did quite a good job killing things in the last turn. So I'm going to shuffle some more of these shooting units up. Exocrine is in a good enough spot as it is. Hormagons might come, or some Termagants might come jumping in. They might try and stab the Lord a little bit. And I think we'll have a Battle of the Ages. Mr. Pinchy will fight Mr. Krabby, and we'll see what the hell happens.
Senor Pinchy rides again.
So this unit of Hormagaunts here is going to fire their Devourers once again up at the Tyranid squad in the building. They require 4s to hit. So let's take away all the 1s, 2s, and 3s. And they need 5s to wound these Marines. They managed to score 3 successful wounds, and they don't have any minuses or anything like that, so the Marines are going to get 2+ save bolstered up in that building.
Let's see if we can keep them alive. So, unfortunately, I do manage to fail another wound, but finally, the 2 wounds is starting to pay dividends, and 1 guy goes to a wound.
Okay, so the bioplasmic scream of the Screamer Killer Carnifex is going to try and do some damage to that Venom Crawler. So D6 shots, I will take 4. They hit on 4s. I'll take 3 hits for sure. The strength 8 and your toughness 7, yes?
Yep.
So wounding you on 3s. 3 wounds go through, they go -4 to your armor.
Okay, so 3 up, 4 up, 5 up, 6 up. Go straight through, no
It
armor.
does indeed.
So-
And it only does 1 damage apiece, so that will be 3 wounds. Do you have a demon save?
I do, so he is a demon machine, so he gets a 5 up invulnerable save.
Which he fails all 3 of.
Unfortunately, so he does take 3 wounds, bringing him down to a total of 6.
Pretty good scream.
That's
Should
it.
rename him Karen or something.
This is a happy face of a man who gets to fire a big plasma bioweapon.
So, firing the Exocrine again. There's a reason I have 2 of these models. I might feel both of them next time. No, Dave might not play me then.
No.
Okay, so D3 plus 6 shots. So that's 8 shots. Shooting at the Marines on this balcony, by the way. Hitting on 3s. Thrice. So 6 hits. It is strength 8, so it's wounding you on 2s. And it is -4, 3 damage.
Does,
So you got a 2 up save that goes to a 6 up save, is it?
yeah.
Oh wait, I ignore cover. You're dead. 5 of them.
Okay.
I just read what a Screamer Killer does in this edition. 10 attacks, baby. 10. That's this many. So I'm gonna roll those and that little thingy's gonna die now. So I hit on 3s. Oh, why did I open my mouth? Oh no. I told David at the start I only need to get 2 of these guys through in order to kill him. 6 misses on 3s is already a bad start because I'm actually weaker than he is tough, so I need 5s to wound him. Boom! Ah! Oh no! Did you come on my side of the table? Is this Dave dice? Unclean. Unclean.
See, I'm just getting flashbacks to the Fonch and Carnifex fight again now. It's just all repeating all over again.
Oh no! So the 2 Hormagaunts here, or Termagants should I say? Hormagaunts should I say? God, I always get them mixed up. Trying to attack the Warpsmith. So they hit 4 times, that's pretty good. Wounding on 5s.
I mean, technically, if you add the 2 and the 3 together, that counts as 5.
No, that's my joke. That's supposed to annoy you, not me. Okay, now with all of the charged fights happening first, it's time for me to choose my first unit to fight. And my 1 wound Carnifex is going to try and take some more Terminators down. So 4 attacks, hitting on 3s. These 2 miss, so 2 hits. Strength 10, so wounding on 2s, yes?
Mm-hmm.
So 2 wounds go through. So where am I trying to find that claw? -3.
Okay, so that's going to be a 5 up invulnerable save to keep those Terminators alive. So I pass 1 and fail 1, so another one does get taken out. So that's going to be the autocannon butchered, but it leaves the champion to try and swing and take the Carnifex out when it's my turn to activate, which I think is now. But now it's the time for the Terminators to activate, so I'm going to have the champion swinging with his massive broadsword straight into the face of the Carnifex. So again, hitting on 3s, manages to hit twice, and wounding on 5 5s normally actually. So 2 wounds, which are -3 to the Carnifex's armor save. We did get that wrong earlier. It reduces damage rather than AP.
So I need to pass these. It's minus what?
-3.
So I go from 2+ to a 5 up. Let's see.
Why won't it die? Why won't it die? And I'm going to then follow up with the lightning claws from.
I'm going to put the lightning claws into the effects, or the.
I'm going to have to throw them into the effects because the lightning claws really need to work now. So all of the lightning claw attacks managed to hit, which is what we like to see. And we managed to get 2 more wounds.
Nice.
So is that going to be enough this time around?
Yes. You're -3 still?
-3 still.
Yes, so unfortunately with that I will bring the last wound on the Carnifex finished and drop this bad boy down. Now, big beasts like this do not come back in with the we outnumber rule, it's just the smaller bioorganisms, so Senior Claws is dead.
Phew. So last roll of the dice for this turn is going to be the Venom Crawler stabbing out with its claws and tendrils to try and take out the Carnifex. So he's got his 6 attacks hitting on 3s. That's not what I needed to roll when I need to take this Carnifex out, so only 3 of them managed to hit. He's strength 7 against the Carnifex's toughness 7, so we're going to need 4s. And wouldn't you know it, not a single 4 rolled. This is becoming less like a duel and more just a case of, slaps and handbags.
That's an insult to slaps and handbags.
That's fair.
So that brings my turn 2 to a close, and we've had some successes removing a lot of the Chaos Space Marines off of the ramparts, and taking a couple of wounds off of killing a Terminator, but unfortunately it costs us a Carnifex, which is not exactly ideal. But these Terminator Terminators are once again proving to be beasts, and they're my favourite unit in Night Lord's army so far, so I like seeing them do well. So let's see if the Iron Warriors can hold out for 2 or 3 more turns.
See, if they were Iron Warriors, they definitely could, but they're Night Lords, so I don't know so much.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Night Lord turn 2. Managed to take out one of the big things, but there's still lots of little things around. So I think the Night Lords made the decision that given the Broodlord has now revealed himself and is the one bringing on those reinforcements, that the mission is going to be one of seek and destroy. Take the head off the snake and the body will die. At least that's the hope. So if nothing else, it means that no more little snakes will keep coming on the board and I get rid of them. So I'm going to divert most of my forces to basically run around the big giant scary screamer killer and try and take out the Broodlord and his accompanying squad of Termagants, which also has the added benefit of getting me away from the Exocrine, because that thing terrifies me. So that's going to be the plan. The other thing I'm slightly worried about is the large squad of 7 Gene Stealers that just appeared on my lines. So I think I'm going to task my chosen squad with smashing through those ruins like the Kool-Aid Man and smashing up those Gene Stealers right and good. Oh yeah!
Sorry, it's not Goblin Terrain.
So we'll get straight on to the movement phase.
Now when you had this genius idea to cut the head off the snake, yeah?
Yeah.
Did you remember the snake is a Broodlord?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
I'm a Night Lord. I fought scarier things.
There's nothing scarier than a Broodlord.
I don't know. Sanguinius on the Walls of Terror would be pretty scary.
How did that go? Yeah.
Not well. So this can't be too bad. Of course, the final thing I'm going to do is the one last remaining champion from the other squad that's been butchered is going to dive off the walls into the midst of the Devourer squad and start laying about himself with his chain glaive, and hopefully manage to tie them up for a little while.
And keep him safe from being shot by that thing next turn.
That too.
Clever idea.
So let's see how those clever ideas pan out when I actually start rolling dice.
Oh yeah, the dice part, that's the thing that you...
So, shooting phase, we're going to start off with the champion as he jumps from the walls, firing off a shot from his pistol. So again, hitting on 3s, and on a 2 or more, managed to vaporize one of the Devourers. Over here, the Chosen reveal themselves from the roof and fire off 4 shots from their bolt guns. So again, hitting on 3s, so 2 shots so far. Wounding on 4s, so that is 1 wound.
5 up save from that. Fail, and Gene Stealer dies.
And then 2 shots from the plasma pistols. So 1 hit, and because these guys got their buff from slaying a unit last turn, they now count any 6s as 2 hits. Unfortunately, only 2 wounds from that.
5 ups, 2 fail, 2 more Gene Stealers. Dead.
Makes me feel a little bit better about charging them.
Yeah, I'd say it does.
So like some kind of demented Batman descending from on high. We'll see if the Chosen can make it in. So more than enough. Smashing down into the ranks of the Gene Stealers. Getting ready to take the fight to the alien monstrosities.
You said demented Batman, you just mean Batman, right?
Yeah, pretty much,
Yeah,
but
okay.
one with less of a moral compass.
Yeah, okay.
Whereas over here, we're going to see if the squad of Legionaries can make it across. Oh, okay, we'll take that.
Meant to be.
We will take that. So, 12-inch charge, more than enough. Smashing through with grenades thrown ahead of them and everything. They crash into the front ranks of the Termagants. Unfortunately, can't quite get across to the Broodlord just yet. Need to cut our way through his minions. And now the question is, how lucky does the Warpsmith feel? He's feeling kind of lucky. So we're going to start with the aspiring champion as he starts laying about himself with his demon-infused chain axe. So he's got 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, so managed to hit twice, and wounding on 2s, I think. Demon Blade, oh no, only his strength, so unfortunately actually no wounds whatsoever. He's only just piled in and done absolutely nothing. Kind of roll about himself a little bit, but
Not ideal.
No.
Maybe he twisted his ankle from the jump.
that's my guess. Yeah, it was the hero landing. He landed epically, but he wasn't quick enough standing up.
Woo! Superhero landing. Yeah, that's really hard on your knees.
Okay, but that means we'll now move on to the next combat. So I suppose in that case, we'll move across to the Chosen Squad. So again, these guys are pumping out quite a lot of attacks. So let me gather up all the dice we're going to need here.
This shot's pretty cool because the Gene Stealers are quite bright, but the Night Lords are just blending into the scenery in the back, so they literally look like shadows coming out to kill them.
Yeah, which sounds about right. So swinging out with their cursed weapons, again hitting on 3s. So any 6s counting as 2 hits, only 1 6 there in that entire roll, but we'll take it. That's still a lot of not great rolls, but hopefully it'll be enough to wipe that squad.
Only a couple of Stealers left.
Yeah. Wounding on 3s at -3 to their armor save. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wounds in total.
Got a 5 up save, so there's still quite a good chance that you might kill most of them here, so we're all... So nice pass 2, so 3 die. So that leaves 1 Gene Stealer left, unless he has any more attacks.
Nope, that is everything.
Okay, 1 Gene Stealer left, which will probably just wipe out all those Chosen.
Oh no. So now the Night Lord's Legionaries tear into the Termagant squad, protecting the Broodlord, revving their Astartes chainswords, and get ready to butcher their way to the head of the swarm. So, lashing out with the attacks from the unit. So hitting on 3s again. This is a little bit better this time. So all those Astartes chainsaws and revving teeth, hopefully going to make short work of that Termagant squad. So these guys are going to be wounding on wounding on 3s at -1 to the armor save of the Stealers, or the Termagants rather. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wounds in total.
So 10 6-up saves. I'm just going to steal your accursed dice for a moment.
Dave dice.
I got 3 6s, which is more 6s than you've ever seen in a single roll.
Very true.
That's 3, 6, 9 dead Magants. 3, 6, 9. That was a large chunk of Tyranids removed from that combo right there.
Yeah, and then it was not. However, we are not yet done because the champion still has to swing out with his plasma pistol, not plasma pistol, power maul. So again, lashing out with his attacks, not as good as the squad, only hits twice. But the extra pip of strength means he's winning on 2s, and that's going to be at -2 to your armor save. So straight through, 2 more pop.
4 there. Worrying.
Okay, so next up, the Warpsmith starts lashing out with his exalted power axe. So he's going to be hitting on 3s with 5 attacks. Unfortunately, managing only to hit twice, and not managing to wound at all, even with his strength of 6. And the Tendrils lashing out, they manage to hit 3 times, but these are going to need 5s to wound the beast, and only manage to do a single wound to the Carnifex.
What minuses does that have?
No minuses whatsoever.
Fine.
So now I have to make a choice. I either activate the Terminators and wipe another squad, or I activate the Venom Crawler and hope that it can punt the Carnifex in the face before the Carnifex turns around and vivisects my Warpsmith. I think we can activate that guy first.
I think the Terminators will hold. They've been doing a pretty good job of that so far.
So let's see if I can't take this Carnifex out of the fight, because he terrifies me. So the Venom Crawler lashes out with its tendrils. Better this turn, manages to hit with 5 out of its 6 attacks. And again, because of the strength, it's going to need 4s to wound the beast. So manages to wound twice.
Minus?
-3, I believe.
And you need to go 5 up save.
I will double check that here now for you. So strength 7, so -2. Yeah, -2 to the save, and damage 2 apiece. Or -3, sorry, -3.
No, I rolled 2 3s anyway, so they both failed. And what's the damage?
2 damage apiece.
So he goes from having 6 wounds and being quite a comfortable piece on the table down to 2 wounds and feeling not so brave anymore. Ooh. Okay, my turn to activate a unit, and I'm going to choose these 5 Termagants, Formagants, the ones with the claws. I always get them mixed up. Hitting on 4s, get rid of all of the 1s, 2s, and 3s. And then strength 3, so winning on 5s. 2 glorious wounds. You get a -1.
So 2 3-up saves. Totally fine.
So the Terminators did in fact hold the line like beasts. I do get to strike back over here now, which will be 10 attacks. 4, 6, 8, 10. Wounding or hitting on 4s. That's not ideal. Wounding on 5s. 1 wound. You don't.
Totally fine. And then it is. He's doing his job, he's holding the line, and that means that now my Terminators get to strike back against the Hormagaunts. So, lashing out, hitting on 3s, so that's pretty good. 9 out of the 10 attacks hit. And wounding on 3s as well. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 dead Termagants.
This one's the brave one. Until my attrition test, and then he's gonna be not so brave. Okay, it's time for my Screamer Killer to attack the crab again. Let's hope it goes a little bit better than last time. So 4 misses this time, which means 6 hits. Wounding on 5s. There we go. 3 wounds go through, and the profile on that will be -3 damage.
Okay, so I was able to repair the machine last turn, but it looks like I'm going to lose a little bit of that repair work already. So it's going to go straight to its 5-up invulnerable save, which it fails all 3 of. So that's what, 3, 6, 9 wounds? Yeah, he's dead. Dead.
Lol. I guess like I can boop it. Boop. Afterwards.
So we've managed to.
The board looks pretty sparse, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to stop my turn. A lot of crap's going to come back on. But
there's not a lot of
Night
Night
Lords
Lords.
are doing a pretty good job of butchering through Tyranids.
Yes, but they're also doing a good job of, dying themselves. Some of them are just hiding, you know, because they're Night Lords, so you don't see them on the board, and that's the idea. Come at you from the shadows.
It's that whole thing of like, you know, why they didn't participate in the heresy, because they don't really take orders too well, or direction, or like follow objectives. I mean, your objective was to hold this, which has not a single model left inside of it. You have abandoned the objective to go and just wage war, which I suppose is way cooler than sitting behind a wall, but
Pretty much, yeah.
it's just kind of funny to see. And you look at like orbital pick scans, oh look, they must have been over or under, oh wait a minute, they're over there. And they're over there, and what the hell are they doing?
We're doing our best.
Yeah.
No, it's tactics, man. It's tactics.
Yeah.
Tactics. Because if I manage to kill the Broodlord, then it's all good. But there's still an angry Broodlord there, and I haven't managed to touch him, and he's going to, you know, charge forward and die. And so I have to survive 2 more turns, and my bodies are getting a bit light on the ground.
1 turn minimum, and then we roll off after that. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
We'll see. I'm enjoying using the Chosen. The Chosen are beasts. They're butchering their way through everything. But yeah, my Warp Smith might have bitten off more than he can chew with Screamer Killer, even on 2 wounds. So yeah, turn 3 for the Tyranids is going to be interesting.
It's going to be fun bringing all those big fat units back in, but we'll see where they land.
Yeah. So at that, we'll move on to Tyranid turn 3.
Okay, so the start of Tyranid round 3. These are the 3 units of Hormagaunts / Gene Stealers that will be coming back on in this round. Obviously the numbers get bumped up every time they die. So these are 15 strong, and the Gene Stealers have gone to 10 strong. I've rolled for the board edges in which they show up. 2 of them got 1, which means they're going to be on my left hand side. 1 of them got 4, which is my long board edge. So they're kind of away from my Broodlord, nothing to defend him over there, which is kind of worrying. But I will be able to hopefully clear off these Terminators. That's going to be my main goal. The Atramentar, it's time for you guys to come to a glorious end at the end of many Gene Stealer talents, we hope. Yeah, I'm going to deploy those now, and then we'll get into the movement phase. Okay, so my movement phase, the only thing that's really moving is the Broodlord is doing a little shuffle to look very intimidating and get ready to charge in and mince some Light Lords. The 3 units have come on, so all around the side, staying away from the Terminators as I have to. These guys have come on in the middle. Technically they should have stayed away from this guy, well, I'm a bit stuck for space, but they just won't attack him, see if he manages to hold out against the Hormagaunts. The X-Queen's not going to move. It's kind of also stuck for anything to shoot. Can't see the Chosen over in the squad, and they can't make out the Terminators on this side, so unfortunately this thing, it might actually just stomp forward a little bit, act like a big scary monster. It might even make him run as well, just to be extra kind of stompy. And then that'll bring my movement phase to a close. So I'm now going to move on to shooting, which I also actually don't have any of, because the X-Queen had nothing to shoot at, and my only other shooting units are in combat with Chaos Marines. So this is going to be a short turn. It's going to go straight into my combat phase now, and I'm going to try and blend some things. So
That's not the phase I like.
now it's to show you why you should be afraid of Broodlords. I said that now, so I'm going to fluff massively, but still. So this Broodlord here is going to attack these giant squad of Night Lords. He has 6 attacks, hits on 2s, wounds on 3s, but he gets to reroll them because he's a beast. Those are 5 wounds going through. Each one of these is -3 to your armor save, so you get 5 6-up saves, and each one is 2 damage. So every 6 you don't roll is a dead Chaos Space Marine.
So 5.
He'll pass 1 and 4 guys will die. Or 5 guys will die. I forgot about Dave dice. Let me just cut the head off the snake, huh? I told you it was a Broodlord. I warned you, but you didn't listen. And that's what you get.
Thanks, buddy.
So the Screamer Killer is going to be the unit that I choose to activate. I don't know what this one is doing here. And he's going to strike at your Warp Smith. So it hits on 3s. A couple of misses there, but still a good decent number of hits. I'm turn 6. So it's going to be 3s.
Yep.
That's -3 and I think 3 damage apiece.
Okay, so that's going to be 6 5-up saves.
Ooh, good number of saves, but he still suffers 9 wounds.
Yeah, he doesn't have 9 wounds.
I don't think so, no.
Not so much.
I'd say I'm sorry, but I'm not.
It'd be a lie.
I don't have a lot of units left in combat, so I'm going to fight with my 4 Termagants in against those Chaos Space Marines next to the Broodlord, of which 2 hit and no wounds. So, yeah.
So I suppose then I'll go over to those few remaining Chaos Space Marines and they'll try and wipe out that squad of Termagants. So there are 4 dudes there, so that is going to be 4, 8,
You don't want to just pile in and try and kill Broodlord?
12. If I can get to him, yeah. I suppose that'd probably make more sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you pile them all in around and fight.
Yeah, kick their way through and hopefully take the Broodlord down. So let's see what we can do. We've got 4 dudes there all swinging out. So may as well roll these all together because it's not going to make much of a difference. So they're hitting the Broodlord on 3s. So not too bad, but probably not good enough. What toughness is a Broodlord?
I think it's higher than you think it is.
It's
No, it's still just 5, so.
Okay, so wounding the Broodlord on 4s because of the pip of strength from the chainswords. Or does the chainsword actually just give us +1 to the AP? Let me just quickly double check that and we'll be right back to you. So I was correct, unfortunately it isn't, it's just a pip of extra AP, so unfortunately only manages to do a grand total of 3 wounds to the Broodlord, which is going to be nowhere near enough to take him out of the fight.
Hey, you don't know that. I'm going to use my 4th invulnerable save. So I passed 2. So I have lost a wound, which means I'm on 6.
Bye guys!
A Tyranid, turn 3, recap. My reinforcements have come in. There's very little that I think he can do to counteract these with his next turn. His Chosen may do something cool. The Terminators being too strong. A lot of Genius Killers, I don't know what he's going to do here. And he might flee for your life! He saw what a Broodlord can do. That's all I really need to say about this turn. Broodlord.
So Night Lord's turn 3, which I have a feeling is probably going to be the last Night Lord's turn because my bodies are getting fairly thin on the ground and the Tyranids are not. So I'm going to do what every Night Lord player would do in this situation. I'm going to go for Spite. So I'm just going to try and have my Terminators and my Chosen cut their way off the battlefield. And the last remaining Legionary Squad over here are going to sell their lives trying to just tie up the Broodlord and maybe give it a bloody nose. Not sure if the Broodlord even has a nose, but if they do, we're going to find it and we're going to bloody it. And the final then Legionnaire in the midst of the squad of, well, everything is just going to go down swinging and take as many of them as he can before, you know, numbers take their toll. So command phase, I have nothing to do, and movement phase is going to be a case of literally Terminators smashing through the walls of that building and going straight for the Gene Stealers, and these Chosen working their way out through the ruins and making a move on the Hormagaunt squad. So
Works for me.
we shall be right back in a moment with the shooting phase. So shooting phase, we're going to start off in the ongoing combat with the Broodlord. So the Legionnaires draw their pistols and are going to try and fire off some bolt shots point blank range just to try and stagger him a bit. So a little bit better this time, they managed to hit 3 times and they managed to wound with 2 of those shots.
4 up saves for the Broodlord. He passes 1 and fails 1, down to 5 wounds.
Okay, it's not bad. Next we're going to move on to the Aspiring Champion lashing out with his axe but also drawing his plasma pistol and firing off a shot, which he manages to miss with. Thankfully I didn't overcharge that one.
Yeah.
Over here, the Chosen stride forth from the building, bolters pumping as they go. So 2 shots fired and find their mark and manage to wound 2 Termagants. And
Saves, pass 1, fail 1, so 1 of the Termagants is killed.
And then 2 plasma pistol shots, 1 finds its mark and also vaporizes another Hormagaunt. And then the last thing is the Terminators as they stride forward. So the champion levels his combi bolter and is going to fire 4 shots into the oncoming Gene Stealer horde. So managing to hit with all 4 shots. And 2 of those were 6s, which count as 6 shots, which I will take. And that manages to do a grand total of 4 wounds.
4 wounds, so I managed to pass 2 of my vulnerable saves, but that is 2 Gene Stealers come crashing down.
And with that, we're now going to move on to my assault phase. So we'll go straight into it, no point in waiting around. The Terminators, can they make it in? They can. They're going to smash into the Gene Stealers, and the Chosen, charging forward just about. It's enough to make it into the Termagants. And that is going to be all of my charges, so we're just going to go straight onto the combat phase. So, I'm going to start off with the Terminators swinging out at the Gene Stealers. So again, these guys are hitting on 3s with their cursed weaponry. So, not great, but 2 of those 6s are doubles, which is helpful. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. I do quite like that exploding 6s roll.
Yeah.
And they managed to wound with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wounds at -3 to their save.
So my 5 plus some vulnerable saves become 4 up with Gene Stealers in combat, which doesn't help me a lot as I drop 4 bloody Gene Stealers.
It's not too
How
bad.
many Gene Stealers has these guys torn? This is 5 and then 7, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. They've killed 18 Gene Stealers so far throughout the game. Like, at Trementar for the win.
Yeah. It's a toss-up at the moment between whether they're my MVPs or whether the Chosen are. We're going to see what these Chosen can do when they hit the Termagants. So, again, lashing out. Any 6s count as doubles. That's a lot of 6s. So, if any fails, 1, 2, 3 failed hits. But I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 hits with an additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra ones from that exploding 6s.
So 22 hits.
Yeah. And these are wounding on 3s. Or rather, I should say killing on 3s, going straight through their armor. Unfortunately, there was a lot of 1s and 2s in there, but that is...
Like to balance the odds.
They do indeed. So
You took a 4 there by accident?
no, I knocked that one, so it's alright. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 dead Termagants.
Well, yeah, okay. That's the Chosen, eh? Chosen seem to be a thing in this book. Oh my god, they haven't even lost one yet.
I like these. These are good. Let's have more of these, please. So the Chosen are going to manage to cut their way out of the battlefield. It's now just down to see if the Terminators can survive a round of combat with the Gene Stealers, which I'm not so sure about, but we'll see in a second. Last swing of the dice now is to see if I can take the Broodlord out. So the last 4 Marines pile in and try and just bear him to the ground with sheer number of attacks. So again, hitting on 3s, but 6s count as 2 hits now because we're in round 3. So that's not too bad actually. So those are all the misses, but I get an extra 3 hits for that. This whole let the galaxy burn rule is very cool and very thematic.
Yeah.
So now, because it is toughness 6, we're going to be wounding it on 5s.
Toughness 5.
Toughness 5, well, wounding it on 5s regardless. So that's going to be 3 more wounds on the Broodlord.
3 4-ups. He fails 2 of them, so he goes down to 3 wounds remaining. Oh no.
It would have been great if it wasn't his turn to strike back next.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
So like Dave was saying, it is the turn of the Broodlord to go next with his 6 attacks, hitting on 2s. Of course, 2 of them are misses, but that's okay. Wounding on 3s with rerolls. So all 4 of them are wounds. And none of them are 6s, so that's okay. So 4 wounds minus 3. So you get 4 6-up saves to try and save any of these Night Lord's lives.
I don't have high hopes.
1 is alive.
1 is still alive.
So the mace-wielding lunatic is still there.
The champion is still there.
Trying to punt the head off of Broodlord. I like his moxie. A little bit. So I just rolled off camera because I didn't think it was going to be very exciting, but the lone remaining axe-wielding Psycho Sergeant with his 5 attacks just dropped 5 more armor guns. So that's 2, 4, 5. This guy is also a bit of a beast in this game. Like, Okay, now comes in for my 4 remaining Gene Stealers to see if they can tear down the Atromentar finally, once and for all. So I hit on 3s. Hell of a good start. Wounding aim on 4s. Not a good start. So I do 5 wounds, -3. I think it's only 1 damage as well. It is indeed. So you get 5 up saves from that, for which you pass 1 and fail 4. So you lose 4 wounds on these guys.
So 1 Terminator is brought down, so the Lightning Claws with his 3 wounds is gone. And that means that the remaining champion survives on 2 wounds.
So end of Night Lord's turn 3.
Yep, so again, the Chosen and the Atromentar proved to be an absolute beast, both units, and even the chainsaw wielding axe champion as well. The Chosen managing to make it through the entire battle without losing a single member, only losing a single wound in the process.
Yeah, they were no joke in this game, they were real.
Butchering their way through hordes of Tyranids, so they were very cool. Definitely want to play with those guys again. The Atromentar held their own, taking out the, again, just hordes between Gene Stealers and Termagants and Hormagaunts and the Carnifex as well, that added to their pile of their kill tally. They were pretty badass. And even the champion over in the far corner, just holding his own against an unending horde. I can see him going down screaming, but he'll be a glorious tally of kills at the end of it.
He'll be glorious.
Can't say the same about the Warpsmith or his Venom Crawler. The Venom Crawler was kind of cool. It killed a unit of Gene Stealers and then whiffed everything when it tried to take out a Carnifex. And once again, the Warpsmith has proven that he is just not worth the time that Abaddon has invested in him. So I think it's fair to say he's probably been well and truly consumed by the Screamer Killer this time around. And yeah, Broodlords are no joke. So I think it's fair to say that the Tyranids have seized the day and secured control of this particular node for them to start running operations out of and starting to rebuild their Hive Fleet. But thankfully my Night Lords units, the ones I cared about, my Chosen and the Atromentar, have managed to cut their way free of the battlefield. So while it is a loss for the Night Lords, it is a costly loss for the Tyranids.
Yes, it is, yeah.
So that brings the game to a close, and we're going to go to the post-match chat.
Yeah, for sure. We've made the decision that, but there's no way that these guys are going to get over to the other side of the board and save the Broodlord, or to kill the Broodlord, which means that there's just too many Tyranids left on, and with the Broodlord still on the table, too many more Tyranids will show up on the table for the dwindling numbers of the Night Lords to take on. So we're guessing is that not only has the Iron Warriors lost faith in their commander, units like the Chosen and the Atromentar feel betrayed by their pathetic Warpsmith and have in fact fled the battlefield, perhaps to start Chaos Warbands of their own, or maybe to join some other Chaos Warband and maybe reappear later in the campaign.
If you'd like to be in with a chance of winning this full set of scenery kindly provided by Snot Goblin Gaming, all you need to do is comment below with what is your favourite army to play, paint, or even read. Make sure that you're also subscribed to the channel to be in with a chance of winning, and the giveaway is open worldwide until the 4th of September. For all my American viewers, we have an extra chance for you to get some free scenery directly from Snot Goblin Gaming. The first 50 people to sign up for their newsletter through the link below using the code MediocreHobbies will win a free 6x3 L-shaped piece of this terrain to test out for themselves. If you'd like to check out full details of how this terrain works and to support the creator and the project, please click the link below for their Kickstarter. Remember guys, that one is only available to the American viewers, so unfortunately for the rest of the world, you'll have to be lucky and win the full table that I'm offering myself.
Okay, guys, that brings Battle Report
6.
well, 6 is the one you're doing for the at the moment, aren't you?
No, that's number 5, I think.
So this is Battle Report 6.
6, 7-ish. We'll correct that in post.
One of the other battle reports. So yeah, so we brought the Tyranids back in. Tyranids will play a little bit of a more kind of key role in some of the battle reports coming up, and with the Xenos races fighting for them, fighting against them. And we've 3D printed up a bunch of new Tyranid scenery, some of those cool nodes. So the table will be pretty jazzed up for Tyranids in the next kind of couple of weeks.
Yep.
Today's game was actually supposed to be Tyranids v Eldar, but we had a exciting opportunity to work with Snot Goblin Terrain, working on some of this new scenery to use in the battle report. And this scenery will in fact be given away to one lucky viewer of this battle report. All you need to do to be in with a chance of winning is to comment down below who you wanted to win in this battle report, why, and make sure that you're also subscribed to the channel. So once you do those two things, we will announce the winner, I think 2 weeks after this out, so this will be out mid-August.
Yep.
And then so the end of August we will announce the winner, and we will ship this scenery anywhere in the world at MediocreHobbies cost or expense. Yeah, I think it's a pretty cool giveaway, the scenery out of the battle report. So the game itself, I did like the kind of custom rules that we brought up. I always like the without number for smaller units, Tyranids.
Yep.
Like imagine we didn't have that rule. Although in the end, kind of later in the game, it may have seemed a little bit unfair. If you go back to your turn 1, I would have had 40% of my stuff on the table after turn 1. It would have been just an absolute massacre the opposite way.
Yep.
And I always like to feel that whoever's fighting Tyranids should be on the back foot. If you read anything in any book, it's always them fighting the numberless horde and trying to stay alive until X happens.
Yeah, and it's a cool idea that, you know, we're trying to claim control of this outpost in the middle of the jungle, and it's always just on the edge of the clearing. There's the rustling of trees and the rustling of bushes, and you feel like you're being watched, and then all of a sudden they burst out from the undergrowth, and it's like, oh, here we go again.
Yeah, everyone is fatigued, everyone is tired, everyone is hungry.
Yeah.
And the Gene Stealers just seem to be getting more and more strength
And
every
it
day.
just keeps going, just keeps going. But it was a very enjoyable battle report, and the new Chaos book, like there are some units in this that have some serious teeth. I mean, obviously Dave Dice plays a certain factor in that, so you didn't really get to see the durability of the Legionary squads, but the Chosen were no joke in this battle. And even the Atramentor, like the Terminators, surviving, one still left alive on 2 wounds. If we had played another turn, he would have butchered his way through those Gene Stealers, so you will see him again in an upcoming battle report at some stage. We won't spoil that just yet, but he will make a reappearance. But yeah, no, they were very cool, very thematic, and they play again a bit more like how Night Lords should. You know, the leadership debuffs, even just terrifying the supposedly fearless Tyranids, will teach them the meaning of fear.
I did. My attrition tests were woeful. I definitely felt that as well. Like, obviously my brain is wired to how Chaos should fight, and like, you know, how strong they are. So when you just rallied and jumped off the fortress and started and ran out, I was like, oh, this is going to be a quick game, and they're all just going to die. And then all of a sudden all the Tyranids were just swept aside. I was like, oh no, what is this? So it was very cool to see how strong and powerful Chaos are, even if we didn't give them the best run out today.
Yep, but they'll be making repeat appearances in the campaign at a later stage. But we did want to crack open the book while the Chaos excitement is fresh.
Yes. 2 weeks battle report should feature the Tau, hopefully, once again. By that stage you will have seen the last battle report, which will have the Tau
the Tau's
debuting, and then in the one coming up, there should be a more infantry heavy Tau army on the table, and I've got a pretty cool story based around what we'll be doing in that one, and it will have some pretty crazy implications into some of the newer armies showing up on the channel.
Yep, and we also would like to apologise that there's been a slight delay in the release of the battle reports. Obviously this one's been a little delayed, the last one was a little bit delayed. Unfortunately, with everything going on in the world at the moment, we were not immune to it. I was struck down with COVID myself, so things had to unfortunately take a backseat until I was able to, you know, move a mouse and actually click to be able to edit the videos. But we're back on track now, so hopefully these will be coming back out again every 2 weeks, so you'll have some regular content to look forward to every fortnight.
Yes, which would be ace. some offshoots. This game was kind of a standalone. Like, we can definitely play it in the campaign. We can definitely have certain things happening with it. But if you guys are kind of like the offshoots, because we do want to do things like, at some stage we will probably do a single heresy game for you guys, Iron Warriors v Imperial Fists. So let us know in the comments if you are excited to see that, and then if there's any other one-shot kind of games that you would like to see, that's something that we can look at.
Yep. Also, for any of you who are interested, we are currently running a Iron Warriors v Imperial Fist sort of build up challenge on the Patreon. So if it's something you'd be interested in seeing, links are down below if you want to subscribe to the Patreon channel and give the channel a help out. It's always appreciated. And there is some more content that is coming just exclusively for our Patreon members, and that'll be just one of the series that we'll be running on that channel.
So thank you guys so much for watching all the way through. Make sure to drop the video a like. Like I said, comment below who you wanted to win, if you want the chance of winning the scenery that you've seen in the battle report today. And yeah, make sure that you are subscribed. So thank you guys so much for watching.
Big thanks again to Snot Goblin Gaming or Snot Goblin Scenery, Snot Goblin Terrain. See, this is why he's the voice and I'm just the one that's chipped in. And GameMat.eu for supplying the mat. And yeah, I think that's basically it.
To a healthy close. Thank you guys, and we'll see you back in 2 weeks.
Take it easy.